anything that happens in your marriage is your responsibility. For your marriage to stand firm, for your marriage to enjoy the full benefit of being married in a godly way, it is totally your responsibility.
Right.
Nobody's going to do it for you. It's like you are asking someone else to help you to eat so that you won't go hungry. It's not possible. Welcome to another episode of the 360-degree Woman Table Talk. Today we shall be discussing about our responsibilities concerning our marriage, and the topic is my marriage, my responsibility. And with me as usual is my wonderful husband, Engineer Olusegun Akinniyi. My husband, you're welcome to this episode.
Thank you very much,
of the Table Talk. Just like from the introduction, we are going to be talking about the topic, my marriage, my responsibilities. I discovered sometimes that the moment we get married, or even before, we expect people to take up our responsibilities in marriage. For example, a young man who just got married wants to seek advice from the mom how to treat the wife, from the dad how to manage his own home. Yeah, I'm not saying you shouldn't get advice from them because you are new into the institution. Definitely, you can still tap from the wealth of the wealth of the wisdom, or the well of wisdom that they have, so that you can make life easier for yourself. So I'm not saying that is not totally wrong, but when you now make it a point of duty that at the tiniest thing you are running to them, that is when the issue comes. That is when I don't really understand if you are really responsible enough to be in that institution. But naturally, marriage is meant for matured man and matured woman, right? It doesn't matter the age. Maturity, it does not rely on age. It depends on wisdom and the way you can handle situations of life. Okay, I'll allow you to talk, my husband. When we say my marry, my responsibility, what does that mean to you?
Now, let's try to explain what responsibility in marriage means. It's like starting a new job. When you start a new job, all eyes, including your manager's eyes, are looking up to you to be the expert, or at least if they allow you some time to settle down, they begin to look up to you as the expert who would have the solution. And so you should be prepared to take up the responsibility that that position places on your shoulders. It's the same in marriage. When you get married, everyone is looking up to you to be able to be the man of the house, to be the one to lead your wife. You are supposed to be able to know what to do in any situation. There are people's expectations, social expectations come in different forms, but generally you are still expected to take that responsibility and live up to it. And so you need to take it as work, as if you are starting a new job. It's no longer like when you are with your parents or when you are single. You have to now be the one looking for answers to questions. When there is a question in the house, everybody is expecting you to be able to provide the answer. If you cannot provide it, you should be able to locate the answer somewhere and make it available to the questioner.
Exactly.
So this is the way it is in marriage. And there are things that you are expected to do as a man. You are supposed to be the one telling your wife, okay, this is our plan. You should be able to come up with your plan for the future. You should be able to gauge your wife's needs. You should be able to say, okay, let's resolve this issue this way or that way. So all these are responsibilities that you take up right from the beginning. There are moments, or maybe the initial times, when you might still be inexperienced, but you're expected to gain experience over time. And with time, you will stabilize. But those initial days might be troubling for you as a man, but if you take it as a responsibility, as a job, then you will know that where you don't know, you have to seek.
Exactly.
And when you seek for knowledge, you will find that knowledge.
That is
It's not a case of you running back and forth between your house and your parents' house this time around. It's a case of you now trying to maybe do some deep searching, or at least researching. There are lots of ways you can find answers without necessarily running helter-skelter from your house to your parents' house or some friend's house. So, and that's the reason why in some cases, some people go for counseling. It's a way of preparing themselves for this responsibility.
That is
exactly.
during courtship.
Yeah.
That is pre-marriage counseling. Now when you've entered,
yes,
you need to be prepared first, right?
Yeah.
So that's the counseling you mean. Though you can still go for counseling when you are in, but if you've prepared enough,
yeah,
the pre-counseling, pre-marriage, marriage counseling that normally take place.
Yeah.
At least through that you will have been exposed
Okay.
to a lot of things.
Yeah,
because those people counseling you,
yeah,
they are experienced people.
Yeah, a lot of times they're experienced and they have been in marriage themselves. They have many years of experience in
exactly.
it. So they can tell you what to expect in marriage. So it prepares your mind.
Yeah.
That doesn't give you the answer to all of the issues you are likely to encounter in future, but it just prepares your mind that when you get into this marriage institution, expect a lot of things and be prepared for what is coming. It's not just a bed of roses. There will be difficult times, there will be good times. You have both coming your way. So it's a thing you have to take up, and you have to live up to the expectation when you become married, that yes, you are now in a new setting, in a new arena, and you have to be able to do the things that are expected of you.
Exactly. So most of the times, some people see the pre-counseling, the marriage counseling period, that is before marriage counseling period, as sometimes a waste of time. They think they know it all, and the first experience, the first lesson was like, the attitude of that person was like, what are these people going to tell me that I do not know? Because now the social media is available. Some think they are well read than those counselors, the marriage counselors, and they think, what do they know that I don't already know, or that I've not seen in my parents? They've forgotten that the Bible says, in the multitude of counselors there is safety. So the Bible says, so when you are privileged to have so many people, godly counselors around you, don't take it for granted. And apart from that, what the topic is really saying is that anything that happens in your marriage is your responsibility. For your marriage to stand firm, for your marriage to enjoy the full benefit of being married in a godly way, it is totally your responsibility. Nobody is going to do it for you. It's like you are asking someone else to help you to eat so that you won't go hungry. It's not possible. You have to eat by yourself, and you have to go to the washroom if you want to live longer. If you want to live long, or if you want to live at all, you have to do. There are some things that cannot be done for you. So when you rely on people's opinion, okay, to run your home, then you are making the greatest mistake. Don't never allow people's opinion to guide you the way you are going to run your home. But they are entitled to their own opinion. For Christ,
sure. It's their opinion.
It's their opinion, and
yours.
and they have different view. Your own vision or the plan of God for your own home, for yourself, your wife, and your children is different, totally different from that of the next door family. So you can't run your vision, you can't run your own race the way they will run theirs. Don't look at the way they are running their own family and use that as your own. No, there must be constant renewal of your, how do I put it, with God. That is, you have to be in constant tune with what God is saying about His plan and your purpose for your marriage. You have to review, keep going back to the script
Mm.
that God has written concerning your home, because there is always a script for a particular family.
Yeah.
Don't run your family the way other people are running theirs. Run yours according to God's plan for your life.
Okay.
And I'll keep saying it. Don't allow third party to take decisions for you
Mm.
when it comes to your home.
Right.
As a woman, you should know who you are in that house. You should know why you are married to that man.
Right.
You should know by now, or even before you say I do, what is the vision of that man that you are getting married to.
Okay.
What is your own role in that man's life? Because that man's vision must tally with yours somehow. I'm not saying
Okay.
you should forget your own vision
Right.
or the plan of God for your life, but God knows why He allows you to be married to that person, that
Right.
man. So
Mhm.
what I'm saying is that no matter what people are saying about you,
Yeah.
no matter what people are seeing concerning your marriage,
Okay.
they may not be seeing what you are seeing.
Mhm.
Your eyes is the only eye
Mm.
that can see your marriage better.
Okay.
People outside can never see your own marriage
Mm.
for you. You
Okay.
use your eyes, the eyes of God,
Yeah.
that God has given you
Okay.
to see your marriage.
Right.
Then when you see it, is it going according to God's plan and purpose? If not, change it. Go back to God. He will make you to see. He will guide you. He will open your eyes to behold the wondrous things out of the law of the marriage that He has given you.
Okay.
But if you use other person's vision
Yeah.
to look at your marriage, you may be seeing something else. So that is why you take full responsibility of your marriage. For your
Okay.
marriage to keep blossoming, it is your responsibility,
Sure.
not mine,
Sure.
not
Sure.
that woman
Sure.
out there,
Yeah.
not your mother,
Right.
not your father. They can
Right.
only help you, they
Sure.
can only assist you,
Mm.
but the overall responsibility lies on you, not anyone else. My husband,
Okay, thank you
as
very
a
much.
man,
I think now we all know that we have to be responsible for our own marriage based on what my wife just said. It's like the captain of a ship. The captain of a ship is in full control of the ship, and he has to define the course of the ship. Which
Yeah.
direction do you want to go? Is there any obstacle you have to avoid?
Mhm.
How do you navigate? All those decisions have to be his. Now, in this issue of marriage, taking responsibility is a joint responsibility between the man and the wife.
That's true.
They have to be able to agree the direction the marriage is going.
Mhm.
They have to see where their marriage will be in 5 years, in 10 years, in 20 years' time.
Yeah.
They have to have their financial goals. They have to decide how they want to live their life. How many children do they plan to have? What about the education of those children? These are things nobody will decide or should decide for you. You ought to be able to make those decisions by yourself. And this is where communication between the man and the woman is very, very important. It's crucial that you discuss. Have your family meetings. I mean, at the beginning it's just you and your wife, but it's a family all the same. If you are blessed with children later and you have many children, well, they become part of the family. But from the onset, you have a family of two, yourself and your wife. And so you need to sit down at intervals to look at your goals, your future. What's your financial goal? Where do you want to be? How many houses are you planning? Where do you plan to live? Where do you plan to retire? Things like that should come up frequently in your discussions. That way there is agreement, there is synergy between the two of you. You know you are working towards the same goal. You are going in the same direction. You are on the same page. So it's very important that both of you recognize your responsibilities. Each one has a role to play.
That's true.
But both of you are playing together as a team. You are not playing as competitors. You are playing together on the same team, going in the same direction together towards the same goal. This is something that we need to be very clear about when we talk about responsibilities in the family. It's a division for sure. You have your role as the man,
Yes.
but all the roles should still come towards the same goal because you are working towards the same direction as a family, as a couple.
Mm.
So we need to find out, like she mentioned, the script writer. That is our God.
Yeah.
God has a purpose for every man and woman.
Yes.
And if God brings you into a union, there is also a purpose for that union.
Yeah.
And the purpose for the union should, one way or the other, tie together with the purpose of God for you as individual members of the union. And so it takes seeking God's face to find out precisely what is God saying in this situation. Where is God directing you to? You need to pray about this. It's not something we take lightly, because we know we can't do things by our own knowledge. You might try, but without the blessing of God, without the hands of God in what you are trying to do, you may not go very far.
Exactly.
The only way you can go far is when God gives you his support. When God is behind you, when God is the one guiding you, that's when you can go very, very far.
Exactly.
And so it's important to place God in a central position. Place God at the center of your marriage. Let him be the director. Let him be the master script writer who directs the play. I mean, if you allow him to take his place, for sure, he will lead you, he will guide you, and you will get to that destiny that God has planned for you.
Amen.
I'll let my wife say a few more things.
Yeah, very, very, very true. I'll just come back to that taking responsibility. I think was it in my book or so that I said how the number of children that you will be able to nurture, that will be able to take care. Don't rely on people. Don't put your responsibility on other people's shoulders. Like you have more than what you can bear, numbers of children. I'm not saying, yeah, and you are thinking that my brother living abroad or living somewhere, or who is richer than I, or something like that, will be able to help you to train your children.
That's a big mistake.
They are they are for you, not for you. You did not consult them.
Right.
Before you give birth, before you brought those children to this world.
Right.
So why should they be part of the responsibility?
No,
for
it's
God's
not
sake?
theirs,
Because the
it's
children
yours.
are part of your marriage, they are part of your home.
Right.
So you should be ready to be responsible for everything in your house. And as a man, you should be ready to be responsible to make sure that your family is living well.
Right.
They must be able to eat well. You must be able to pay the bill.
Okay.
And nowadays, some people, they share the bill. It's okay if it's an agreement.
Okay.
You pay this, I pay that. If that is what you want. But as a man should be able to man his house.
Sure.
You'll be able to manage, to safeguard it, to make sure that everything works well. If your wife decides to support, glory be to God. But don't put your responsibility on your wife's neck. And the wife should not put her own part of responsibility on the husband's neck. Let's do what we are supposed to be doing. Don't look on anybody for any support. I don't like when people are telling me that if not because of them. I don't like it. I want everything in my life, in my family, to be if not for God. Not if not for Mr. A or Mr. B. God can use you. I'm not disputing that. God can use anybody to help me, but I don't want to be my totality, my everything in my home, concerning my husband, my children, myself, to be because of Mrs. A or Mrs. B or Mr. that, Mr. this. No. So we should look unto God and ask God, which way do we go? This that is. Just make it plain. The Bible says, come, let us reason together. Reason with God, the God who can declare the end from the beginning, who knows the end, and he will come back to the beginning and take you to that end that is has prepared for you. He said his thought also is thought of good and not of evil, to give us a hope and a future. He had already prepared the future for us. He has given us the hope. Why not work with him and ask him for grace to be able to do that which is meant for us to do for the success of our home? All I'm saying is, I'm not saying that you should not allow people to help you. I'm not saying you should not seek wisdom from people.
Yeah.
Make sure you seek godly wisdom.
Okay.
Godly wisdom. Okay? Read godly books. Read books that will help you to know how to carry out your responsibility
Okay.
for your family's happiness, or for your family's joy, or good things in your family. But my saying is, don't put everything on the shoulder of another person
Okay.
that does not belong to your marriage.
Exactly.
You and your husband, you made up your mind,
Right.
or you and your wife, you made up your mind to get married and to start having children.
Yeah.
Or to do, if you decide not to have children but you want to stay in that marriage.
Yeah.
You made up your mind.
Sure.
So take up the responsibility. Take it up.
Exactly.
Sit up.
Exactly.
Okay, if need be, you have to take extra job or whatever, go ahead and do it. Don't allow the name of God to be dragged in the mud. Don't allow people to insult your God.
Exactly.
Because when you depend on them all the time, say, she's coming again, he's coming again, they've started again, they will soon send for you, they will soon come and do this.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Shouldn't be.
Learn.
Yeah.
Ask for the wisdom of God.
Okay.
Let us learn. Let us seek God's face. He's the master planner of everything, and we shouldn't be lazy in doing what we are supposed to be doing.
Okay.
It will make a marriage a place that is will be example for others to desire. God prepared marriage to be enjoyable,
Sure.
not to be endured.
Right.
It's for us to enjoy marriage.
Sure. Sure.
And my husband.
Over from there, normally we are responsible as parents for the upbringing of our children, and this includes both their physical upbringing or development, their moral and spiritual development as well. A lot of times we tend to leave these responsibilities to teachers in the school. Sometimes we believe that once you shove the children out of the house to go to school in the morning, right from kindergarten, you don't have any responsibility in that area anymore. And then you turn around and blame teachers later. How long do they spend with these teachers in the first instance? The children are only gone for a few hours every day. Now, the rest of the day, they are at home with you, except you are the one who doesn't stay at home. And that's why sometimes it becomes necessary for one of the parents to stay with the children. Otherwise, there will be a gap in their lives in the future. I know my wife at some point had to stay full time with our children at home because I wasn't always around. My job used to take me out of the town at that time. So it's part of responsibility, taking responsibility for the growth of your children. If you left them in the hands of maybe nannies and school teachers and every other person except yourself, then you have to accept what you get in the future. What you get in that case may not be what you wanted. It might be totally different from where you want your children to be or what kind of values you wanted them to possess. So we need to look at this also as part of our responsibilities. It's not your mother who is responsible for the upbringing of your children. You are responsible. It's possible you send them to your grandmother in the village. Their grandmother will look after them so that you can have time to run after the dollar in the city. No, don't turn around and blame grandmother later. This is your responsibility. You have to take it up. Whatever it takes for you to be responsible, to be there for these children, you have to do it. As a mother, it's not all about dollars. As a father, it's not all about dollars. You know, you can, reorganize yourself. You can rearrange things in the family just to place these children where they ought to be. You have to, when they are moldable, you have to mold them at that time. Otherwise, it may forever be too late to mold character in these children. And so these are parts of our responsibilities which we have to live up to as parents. And it's something that has to do again with an agreement. Both of you must be able to agree. What kind of children do you want to bring up?
Yeah.
Where would you like to see your children in the future?
Mm-hmm.
And if you can agree on where you would want them to be in the future, then it would be easy for you both to understand why maybe somebody has to leave a job or take a part-time job for these children to be brought up the way you want them to be brought up, so that they can get to where you want them to get to in life.
Yes.
So these are things that we need to count as part of our responsibilities. Never think it's your mother's responsibility. Don't think it's grandmother's responsibility or teacher's responsibility. You are responsible. And it is what you put in that you get. Like if you put garbage into them, you get garbage back at the end of the day.
Yeah.
That's not our portion, and I know you will do what you are supposed to do as a parent. So these are areas of responsibility that we need to take up, and we shouldn't leave it to other people to do for us.
At all.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. In conclusion, because of time now, in conclusion, I just want to say that husbands, the type of wife that you want is your responsibility. That woman is given to you as raw material. You need to keep nurturing the woman. You need to keep polishing the woman with love until she gets to that particular picture or that particular woman that is your dream. No, you can't. No woman is given to you as a perfected woman. No, you need to perfect this woman by nurturing her, by building her up, just like Jesus Christ is nurturing his bride, the church. He keeps washing us with the washing of the word, and making sure that we are becoming spotless. Okay, we are not perfect. The church is not perfect. The same thing, nobody is perfect. You can't say I want my wife to be like Mrs. A, where you don't know what Mr. A has done to bring that woman up to that standard. Just the same thing goes to the woman. You don't say I want to marry Mr. B. You don't know what Mrs. B has done to make Mr. B to look that perfect, that good. Go and check their picture when they were cutting. Go and check their picture when they newly wedded. Go and check the first 5 years of their marriage. Right? And you will see what I'm saying. The man you are seeing right now was not the man that the woman got married to. The woman you are seeing right now was not the woman that the man got married to. They worked together. They took responsibility and made sure they nourished each other. The same thing with our children. Anything that is about our home, about our marriages, we need to be responsible. So I pray that the God Almighty will enable us to be responsible, will enable us to hear Him for His direction of how to run our homes, how to be responsible, how to take up whatever challenge that may come our way with the help of God, instead of putting our burdens, our responsibilities on the shoulders of others. The God of heaven will help us in Jesus' name. Amen. My husband, do you have anything in conclusion?
In conclusion, let me just encourage everyone to take it as a job. I mean, it's like another job. When you start a marriage or when you start a home, you are taking up another job with its own responsibilities, and you have to be conscious of that and do all that is required to meet up those responsibilities. And I pray God will help every one of us in Jesus' name.
Amen. Thank you so much once again for your time. I pray that the God of heaven will be our guide, will release His wisdom unto us in the name of Jesus. Amen. And He will give us the strength that will make our marriage a glorious one. Amen. In the name of Jesus. Please, once again, remember to share the news. Remember to click the like button, and any suggestion that you have, please, the comment section is there for any suggestion that you may have or your contribution. Thank you, and God bless you. Amen.